Okay, so I was a non-traditional student at Syracuse University, and I was also the first person to graduate in a new program called Food Systems Management at Syracuse. However, one of the required courses that I had to take was microbiology. And I was extremely fearful of this course because it was taught by one longtime professor who allegedly was one of the most difficult, hardest professors to work with, and he had a reputation that was well earned. So I saved that course for the very last course that I took during a spring semester, when it was the only course I had left to complete, because I wanted to give it my full attention, because I was literally afraid of this guy. I can't remember his name now, but in any case, so comes time to take the course. I'm sitting in the big lecture hall the first day of class, and the guy says, look to your left and look to your right. He said, 2 of the 3 of you won't be there at the end of this class. And I'm thinking, microbiology? I said, how can this be so hard? But anyway, so I'm sitting in the class, and first test comes along. And I take the test, and I said, oh my God, I can't believe it. And, that's when I realized that there was a lot more to microbiology than I had thought. Tests come back, I get a 54 out of 100 on that. And I'm like, oh my God. Because at that point in time, I had pretty close to a 4.0 GPA. And I'm like, I can't believe this. So I set up a meeting to go talk to the professor. And I go talk to the guy, and I sit there and I said, I studied like hell. I said, I read all the material. I said, I still get a 54. And I said, I can't believe it. What else can I do? What else? He says, what are you worried about? He says, that was the 4th highest grade in the class. And there's like 200 students in this class. So sure enough, after the first test, the class had dwindled in size significantly. So I continue with the course. I take the next test, and I get a 60-something. I have the same thing happen. Because one thing I'd never experienced was grades like that, and I didn't know about a curve. So I went and talked to him again, and I said, I'm going to get if I pass this course, it's going to be with a D at best. He says, heck no. He says, all you got to do is just keep doing what you're doing, he said, and there'll end up being a curve at the end of the semester, and he said you'll end up passing the course. So I go through the entire semester, and I think I ended up getting a low 70 on the final exam. And turns out at the end of the year, I end up with an A in that course because of the curve. And I just kept thinking, man, what is the effectiveness of this scare tactic for this guy? And I also met with him and asked him, I said, he'd been teaching the course for 30 years. And I said, is there anything new? Are you changing? He said, no. He says, the only thing that has come, and this, of course, was in the 90s, he said, the only thing new that has come along in microbiology was the AIDS virus. He said, other than that, this material has been the same for years and years. And he says, I teach it the same way. He just said, for whatever reason, students struggle more now than they did before. So anyway, I put it off until the end, and the moral of the story, I guess, is just get in there and do it, and take the chips as they fall.